Okay, so today we're going to look at some of the linking between Pipedrive and Mailigen. And after installing Mailigen, really I wanted to understand what the subscribers were looking at in terms of what they clicked on within the newsletter. And, whilst we can start digging about within Mailigen to look at the individual links, the one thing I noticed that the information is actually passed back to Pipedrive. So here we can see for this particular newsletter, the campaign email was sent, and then we see that the recipient opened it, and then we can see that the recipient clicked on the link, and then they opened it again, and then they opened the email again, and then they clicked the link. But this particular link doesn't tell you which link within the newsletter that the subscriber actually clicked on, and I wanted that information passed back into Pipedrive. And shortly after I had that issue, I had a client with exactly the same problem. So I thought I'd better try and understand how to fix it. I did contact Pipedrive, who did say, yep, you're probably right, Chris. We probably ought to fix this. But as yet, they haven't fixed it, and so there is no solution other than the workaround I'm about to show you. So if we look at within Mailigen itself, there is a webhook. And if you click on this webhook link, you can see that there's the actual URL that gets passed back. I decided to fix this with Zapier. So I wanted to send updates made by the subscribers when they clicked on the email, but I wanted to pass the information of the actual link itself back into Pipedrive. Unfortunately, this webhook, this long string of information, does actually contain the actual link to the URL itself. So in order to solve that, you can see that we've got the sync set up here, but I wanted it in a note. So that was the important thing. I wanted to see those links within a note. So the only way for me to fix it was to create a zap. So here we have this Mailigen. It creates a note within Pipedrive whenever a link is clicked. And I'm not going to go into the details because it's probably a bit too detailed, and anyone who understands Zapier will be able to work it out. So I started with the webhook. So Mailigen provides you with the webhook, and you can link that pretty easily. Then we had to go through the process of looking for the specific subscriber. So I had to do a find for the individual person. And I did that by just checking out their email address, because that's consistent across Pipedrive and Mailigen. Then I created a note within Pipedrive that has the campaign name, and here is the piece of data, the actual link itself that I'd taken out of the webhook. It finds the person from the action above and then pins that note within the Pipedrive notes. And interestingly then, you could go on, I did some testing for the client. They wanted some of these notes to go in a spreadsheet, and then you could add the usual Slack message if you really want to see who's clicked what and when. So then what happens if we look back into the link after we've implemented it? We can see another newsletter here. So I updated this from my November newsletter. The contact opened the email, but then now I have this all-important information. It says that the user clicked on the link to my Instagram account. So now I have that all-important link, that all-important URL within my Pipedrive notes for this particular subscriber. So it's really, really useful. And I've just left that running, so it doesn't. If you have a massive mailing list, and you have hundreds of thousands of people, then they're all going to click links. Then it could get particularly expensive by using Zapier. But I saw that as an interim solution. So that's it. That's how, relatively simply, to link your Mailigen news campaigns, your newsletters or mail campaigns, to understand which links were clicked and get that information passed back to Pipedrive.